We are live. We are live on Deadline Deal Night. Let me just check this out to see how it looks because it is a bit different lighting than we've got tonight. Who's all on? Because it's going to be a long night. It's going to be a long night. It doesn't look too bad. I need to get a different camera, I think. Good evening, Celtic fans. James Dillon says, I think we've done well in the window in the last few days. Got rid of some deadwood. James McCarthy's still hanging about. Tam Max in the house. Evening, mate. Evening, Mark. Do you want to take the dog out for me? All right, okay. Thank you. Evening, Mark. Right, let me just. No, you're not getting it. Right, obviously, we've just done. When is Bernardo confirmed? I'm expecting that tonight. I haven't expected it before tonight because he has had. Wait, go get your mum. Go on. He has had his. Wait a minute. I'm all over the place here. Right, let's get to the poll. Make sure that you vote in the poll. 43 votes, 44 votes. And has it been a good transfer window? Yes. 73% are saying yes so far. And 27% are saying no. You've spoken about Baz. You've been spoken about on. You're joking. oh my god. I've been spoken about on Snide FM. Oh my goodness. Like, wait a minute. I need to get onto the. What on earth were they saying, Tom? Oh my god! Right, I can't see a thing with this. Right, let me see. That's better. I could see. Get that light out my eyes. Right. How is everyone doing? Does the camera look alright? Where's my phone? Where the hell's my phone? Um, no keepers killed it for me. We're famous. How many overall was signed in the window? About 9 players, which is more than we expected. Right, wait till I get. I'm running late with stuff tonight because there we go. Had some work stuff to take care of, and it ran longer than what I thought. But I think it's good that the 4-year extension for a back is finally done. I hope that's not the last thing that gets done tonight. Um, Bernardo was Paulo was in the country. No left back, no striker, no goalkeeper. Yeah, I know. Tarmac was giving you a shout out. Oh my goodness, man. Madman. Right. You got your bag of cans. Hope you've all got your bag of cans tonight. Hello there, boy. With these new signings on a game time, massive stroke, getting a bad as extension. Yeah, it is. But my only concern, um, is we didn't get the goalkeeper that we wanted. And let's face it, there had to be there's no smoke without fire. Lanky's got his bucky because you had it going yourself. But as your reaction to the Champions League's draw has become famous, it's not become famous yet. But I do need to get the lighting situation sorted out for this place. Actually, I can turn the green. I could turn the lights. Let me see. Hey, that was a I can do all sorts of these. And just switched off. Right, that's a bit better. Right. Anyway, why has Google Chrome started doing all this? Paul's on the tonic. We needed 7. That's 6 of them ready. A few folk getting a bevy. Why are folk getting a bevy for? Because it's Friday night. It's Friday night. Lanky, you outside Parkhead. Lanky, come in. Right, let's get some Celtic news because I have been running a bit late. But obviously, that Bada one. It's a great bit of news, and Celtic are probably going to leave it till later on until they announce Paulo. Celtic knocked back a late bid of 7 million. What's this one? Someone actually put in a cheeky bid for Leila Bada today. There you go. There you go. Sporting Lisbon. Sporting Lisbon put in a bid for Abada. He obviously signed that contract yesterday. And when you look at it, there's no way that have they managed to get all the Friday at sandwich night. And there's best news is the jet away. Yeah, I think the good news is that Abada has signed the deal. If there has been a cheeky bid of 7 million, Celtic were never going to accept 7 million. No striker and no left back as it stands. Did we definitely get Bernardo? Yes. Has Abada been paid? I think the Rocco Vata situation is a nasty one. The Rocco Vata situation, nothing going on around, but I've got a feeling about a striker, and I think we're still going to get a what's he say? What are you saying about Vata? I think Vata. The last I heard, he was wanting to keep his options open. He was wanting to keep his options open, which means that he basically wants to see his contract and then go wherever he wants at Christmas. So fit for Sunday. Yes, free agents. I've not had my dinner, so you're going to have to listen to me eat tonight, which is rather unfortunate. Here comes the crazy dog because she knows I've got food. Right. So there was a 7 million bid knocked back from Sporting Lisbon for Abada, which was good. But he put pen to paper on a 4 year deal. 4 year deal that takes him to 2027. The thing is, if you think back to 12 months ago with Abada, at one stage, everybody thought last season, everybody thought that Abada would be one to go out the door. Um, Everyone thought that Abada would be the one player that Celtic would probably get rid of, purely for the fact that he was kind of taking the huff that he wasn't getting games. Midnight in Scotland, yes, it will be 1 o'clock here, but I think, the name Van Hooijdonk keeps coming up. I think it'll be special. If I don't know, my problem with the young Van Hooijdonk is that he's caused issues at the club that he's at just now, and if his dad did the exact same when he was at Celtic, right? So obviously runs in the blood, and you don't want that. You don't want that kind of stuff going on in Celtic. We just got rid of a player who spat the dummy out and went public with stuff. I've got a funny feeling that the young Van Hooijdonk would do the exact same, and that's not what we need. It's not what we need. We need a Barrett. Yep, we do that. A Barrett can beat a man. Can't beat a man. So there's John in the house. Barrett can't beat a man or cross a ball. Calling to John. I don't know. I don't know. Shut the window now. What one? This one. Anyway, hi from Scundee. Buzzing for Sunday. Right, now that the window is sort of closed, Nottingham Forest tried to get Vata, but we told them nope. I think if we're going to get rid of Vata, it should have been done earlier on. I still don't think that Vata will see it. I don't think he'll be here next year. Not at all. Right, no, get away. Go. Beat it. Sit there and a half. John is full of wash. How can we sign players when the London Stock Exchange is closed? We can sign players this evening and then announce it first thing in the morning. So you've got to announce it to the Stock Exchange first. That's why a lot of the deals might get done tonight and then announced tomorrow morning. Hail from Berwick, right? Tell me where you are in the world in the comments, and we'll see what other Celtic news is kicking about. Because I hope to God that the Bada one isn't the last deal of the night. Sydney Van Hooijdonk transfer to Celtic blocked as Bologna trying to cling on to the striker. It's just all about Lila Bada. Matt O'Reilly, Champions League draw. Is my phone through there, or is it still done in the car? I think I've left my phone in the car, and I need it for Twitter. Um, I think I've left it in the car. Let me just see what's happening on here. Yeah, if you could please. Right. What we'll do is, right, we'll talk about the players that we've signed. Right. So let's talk about the players that we've signed this transfer window or have had contract extensions. So Awata was signed. Well, Awata was already in the door, but he was on a obligation to buy. Ohm has signed. Tilo has signed. Yang has signed. Kwon has signed. Rocky has signed. Lager Belki has signed. Palmer has signed. Phillips has signed. Phillips is only signed until January. McGregor's had a new contract. Kyogo's had a new contract. Maida's had a new contract. Abada's new contract. And Welsh a new contract. So what do you think about that? Tell me that in the comments. The Twitter's full of lies anyway, Baz. Yeah, that's true. It's not Twitter, Baz. No. Carragher says in Salah's footage. Has Mohamed Salah went away yet? Just I know it's not Celtic, but Lanky, Tom, what are you talking about, you madman? What are you talking about? Hey, Baz from Paisley. Couple more over the line. Yep, let's hope so. Well, the manager did say he wanted in about 4 players, 4 or 5 players, and he'll hear from the Gallagate, Botswine, St Andrews, European Way Days. Get ready for European Way Days in the Champions League. Yep, they'll be out tomorrow morning, as we said earlier, Paul. They will be out tomorrow morning, and it'll be interesting. It'll be interesting because we're going to get them booked straight away. Straight away. Hail troops. Asian scouting point. There isn't a lot of news kicking about tonight. It's really quiet, which is strange. Really strange. Let me just click on this. Close of interest. Apologies for eating. I've not had my tea, as you lot say. You'll hear from Mary Hill. What do you think of the team? It is quiet before the storm. Barhead is in the house. Was it down the stairs? Eh? All right, okay. I hear you've bought a vineyard in the countryside. Not a chance. Not a vineyard. Kev been talking to you. It's not a vineyard. It does have. Anyway, that's enough of that nonsense on this channel, John. Right, hail from Belfast. The rumour is that secret announcement. Tea. It's dinner. Dinner. Call you what, it's actually early for me to be eating. Because I never had what we call lunch. And you generally have lunch around about 2-3 o'clock here. About 3 o'clock. And then you don't go out for your what you call dinner until the back of 9. But I'm absolutely starving. Baz, do you think that it's been a good window, mate? Pollock boys, hail troops. It's been an interesting window. It's definitely been an interesting window. Baz, can you get tech on Paz? What? Can you get the tech for once to talk live? Yeah, Tam, I can get others on the screen. I can get others on the screen. I can get up to 4, another 3 people on, if that's what you're talking about. And if you want to do that, we can do that. Baz, a bad hat trick. A bad hat trick. I don't know about an Abada hat trick, but I think I've got a funny feeling that Lewis will score and Phillips will have an absolute blinder of a game on Sunday as well. Looking for a new life back. You better hurry up. People love you. Let's get some thumbs up. Lothian boy, how do you think the lineup now on Sunday? So that's an interesting one. It is an interesting one because Yang's been playing absolutely amazing. Abada will be pumped up because he's just got that new deal. He knows what it's like to play against them. So Brendan's got some choices to make. And let's face it, the Champions League fixtures are announced tomorrow morning at 9 a.m. Celtic Park time. Big Phillips will be a solid signing. Yep. I heard Phillips is injured for Sunday. Any truth in it? No, I don't think so. I seen him training today. He was training, if you look at the pictures for Celtic Park, he was training just fine. So I wouldn't believe any of that. I think it will calm down Hart. And that will calm down. He needed that type of player. And I think that the fact that we've changed the way that we play, we're not kicking the ball out to the sides. I think that's going to be a lot better for Hart. Phillips changed. Yeah, we've all seen him training today. It was one thing that I noticed. If you noticed the pictures, who wasn't in training today? Who seen or who saw um, Scales? Who saw Scales? Because I never seen him in any of the training pictures or videos. Well, not fully fit. Only players that are in force out the back. Yeah, he probably is the only fully fit one. The exciting thing is, like we said it before, the fact that he's trained with Virgil van Dijk and that, and some really right good players the last couple of seasons. I think that he'll be right up for it, And you've got to remember, Big Virgil had a word with him and said, "You've got one of the best games." Bad's been on the sunbeds. No, it's these lights. I could change the colour of the lights. Hey, there we go. Disco lights. We have our own disco lights. We are the new Celtic Park. We have our own. No sign of AJ in training either. Right, let's sort these lights out. Dial them down a bit. Anyway, I'll get all that sorted. We'll get the lighting situation sorted. There's one over here as well. Jesus. That's a bit better, isn't it? That's a little bit better. Shows off my tan. Yes, Disco Laz is in the house. Right, Lanky's going for Hart, Alistair Johnson, Lager, Phillips, Taylor, Calmack, Ohm, O'Reilly, Yankee, and Palmer. Do you think? I think that that might be the team in the second half, but I do think that it will go with Abada because Abada knows this game. And I think if you go in with sad disco lights, they're bad. Disco lights earlier. I think if we go with too many players, and especially there, if you go too many players, you don't know. You don't know. It's going to be one of those games where it could be a 3-3 game. Let's be honest, because I think their defence will be a lot more solid. I think Phillips will be absolutely fantastic. Right, let's see if we can find out some more news because there isn't a lot going around. There isn't a lot going around. The fact that we haven't got a left back is still disappointing. I mean, we all know that. I mean, Greg Taylor's got nobody pushing him. We all thought that Bernabe would probably push him, but he's not. Bernabe's not the player that he's maybe lived up to yet. And Celtic news is really quiet. Calm before the storm. Who do you think's been the best player that we've signed so far? That's my question to you just now. And then whilst I check the midfield, who do you think has been the best player that we've signed this window? There's more lights coming on. Tell me in the comments. Who do you think? Because right now, going with age and experience, I'm going to go for Phillips. I think Phillips, yeah, James Dallin said it straight off it. Phillips, I think he's going to be the rabbit that we wanted pulled out the bag, purely. And I know that we brought in another two defenders, right? But I don't think that they're ready for this level of game on Sunday. What's the Sevco penalty bet? Um, hopefully Marco. Oh, is Marco? Marco's not even back on training yet, is he, Paul? I think Phillips, purely for one reason. Phillips has got that experience. He played in the Champions League 2 seasons ago. He helped at Liverpool. Liverpool, why are the lights changing colours? Fuck's sake, man. He helped at Liverpool when they had a bit of a defensive crisis. He came in and he helped steady the ship. And I think he'll do that with us. I think it's been a poor transfer window, says Paul Cunningham. The board promised the manager backing for big signings. The board must get out. What formation would you play? At Ibrox, I'd actually go for 4-4-2, but the manager won't play that. But that's the way I would play against them. That's the way I would play against them because I think two strikers would rip them apart. If we get, then you can bring in the likes of Maida through the middle, but you don't know what team he's going to go with. It's one of those situations where we've got all these new players in. Only Brendan and the backroom staff have seen them train, so he'll know how good they are and what I think that the formation could be. What was that? Watched open goal last night, and Ferguson said that Phillips hated Celtic and Dan brainwashed him. In this window, I wanted Jerry Adams and 11 snipers for Sunday. You could maybe get them; they just won't be in the ground. You can have them on the roof somewhere. Have them on a roof. Right, let's jump over to let's see what the poll has done. Oh, the poll has got really interesting. Right, it's 271 votes, and the fans are split. It's almost like an independence vote in Scotland. 50 said yes, 58% are saying yes, and 42% are saying no. It's not been a good transfer window. We win and it's bye bye Beale. Yep, something like that. We won't change the team too much from last week. No, I bet Liam Gallagher has demanded tickets for the game, more than likely. Um, 57%, 279 votes. 279 votes, 57% said yes, it's been a good window. And there are 506 people online. So make sure that you go to the community tab and hit the vote. Hit the vote. If you can't vote, this means that you've not subscribed to the channel. And you really should subscribe to the channel because it's quite awesome here. Hey, Baz, about the Japanese players for the Asia Cup. That's something you just need to deal with. I said yes. I said Lanky. I reckon the pressure is all on them. If we get the first goal, that's it. That's it. If we get the first goal, it's been a shocker. But the Sevco are even worse. They're both gambled again. They have gambled again, and it's disappointing. It is disappointing for the fact that we're that far ahead, and every Celtic manager is on the premiership for the moment that they signed for Celtic. This is true. Right, Logan Boy's going for Hart, Phillips, Lager, Alistair Johnson, Matt Riley, Calmack. Turnbull, Awata, Abada, Dyson, Kyogo, 4-2-1. Nah, it'll be a 4-3-2-1 if anything. If anything. The board have no ambition. It's a secret lanky ballot. Kaiser's in the house. Kyogo and Goldson up front. We'll smash them. We will that. If I've just joined Baz, I was a bit busy. Has something been said about Casper Schmeichel? Not that I'm aware of. Not that I'm aware of just yet. And even my phone has been quiet tonight, which is unusual for deadline day. Oh no, wait a minute. 2 seconds. I'll give you a phone later on. I'm on live on YouTube just now. A great show last night, Bash. Yes, it was. Buck it up and sing for the Reds. Mark Boyd. I wish you would. Phillips is a player. I don't look injured training. Dyson looked up to speed as well. I think we're going to go with pace. I think we go for pace on Sunday, and we'll annihilate them. We'll completely annihilate them. Let me just check this transfer latest. It is really quiet. And unless Celtic do something, even in Baz, the Huns got pumped on Wednesday, they get pumped on Sunday. Go 3-4-3. That could be interesting. What happens when you say your phone has been quiet? Usually I'll get a few messages, and the football chat has been really quiet today, which is unusual. Reinvent the press, overload midfield. We're now Sydney Van Hoydonk at 10 p.m. That would be interesting if it did. But as it stands just now, the Bologna have put trying to block the transfer to Celtic. They are trying to block it. He won't be moving this window, is the latest report. The latest report is that Van Hooydonk will not be moving this window. It's ridiculous that we're hanging around to the last minute. And that comes back to the ambition of the board again. It's ridiculous that we're having a mere chance of getting Sydney Devine. Has Bernardo been confirmed? Not officially. Not officially, but it's all done and dusted. But you know what Celtic are like. They're absolutely murder at getting stuff out. Nothing's getting leaked out of Celtic Park just now, which is good. Kaiser, the live chicken. Lanky, we all know when we play the game, is one of midfield. Yeah, it is. So overloading midfield takes away our style of play. But sometimes you need to do it, says Lanky. Yeah, I agree with that. But overloading the midfield, would that allow our wing backs to get forward with pace? Do you know that's the only thing to worry about because really we need the wing backs to be on form tomorrow on Sunday, and I think we need the wingers to be, and we need the wingers to. Rogers looks angry. Rogers always either looks happy or just sad. And Sam Markey bites my head off on live checkings. The board said the window is shut. Tell us. Yeah, we do need, John, we need a left back. We need a left back and as quick as possible. Just check this. We need a left back as quick as possible. It's just one of those, there's not a single sneak of anything anywhere. I think the fact that Brendan must have known that he wanted a keeper. And the fact that they didn't go for the Croatian keeper and thinking ahead, because it's coming out now that we're going to need a new keeper next year anyway at the end of this season. We all thought Joe Hart might take a step backwards, but he thinks he's still got a year or two left in him, and he wants to go and play somewhere else that's a bit warmer. So we needed to get a keeper in. We've not got a keeper in just yet. Hanging about the last day of the window to try and get a striker in, it's hard work. The fact that we're only bringing in tonight, we're bringing in someone that's going to be a loan player, but there are some players to be confirmed. So who knows? Who knows? Let me actually go back to something else. Just double check. Paddy Roberts almost went to Southampton though. That's interesting. That's interesting. Um, so it was interesting to see what Brendan said about Haksabanovic, um, his frustration about his situation at Celtic. And the thing is, we only managed to sell him for the money that we paid for him. I mean, so he's basically cost us in wages. At least we got the money back for him. Rogers did say that he spoke to Haksabanovic about the situation, and he said it was surprising. He says surprising. He says, to be fair, Brendan says I'm not on social media. He says so. Yeah, I did speak to him on it. I was a bit surprised, to be honest, from where it came from. He's been nothing offered nothing but respect by everyone. Certainly by him, by Brendan, in terms of communication. Lionel Messi. I keep on getting notifications for stuff that I don't really want notifications about. And Brendan Rodgers went and said, I did speak to him. I was a bit surprised, to be honest, where it came from. And certainly in terms of communication with him, but this is a new generation, a new type of player. But yeah, it doesn't matter to me, said Brendan, basically. He's out the door now. So good riddance to him. Good riddance to him. And, as players these days, rather than going to the manager and saying, look, get Luis Suarez. Mo Salah's been wandering about the Brazen Head. Uh, let's get back to Celtic. The Saudis have pulled up to an offer to 175 million. Wow. Liverpool rejected 150 million offer for Salah. If they let Liverpool, if Liverpool let them go at this late in the day, I mean, it's been. I was watching. Thank you, mate. Do you know that you shared your birthday with another true Celt? Right. Why does that keep changing? I can see his lights. Casper would be a good move. Would be a good move. Would be a good move, and it could be. Brendan knows him, and he knows that he can do a job for him. But hey, guys, I'm not on social media, and I don't watch the news. So I firmly believe that Alan McGregor was one of the. I can't say that live on here. I can't say that live on here. The Arabs are willing to go to 200 million for Saha. That's crazy money. Crazy money. Lanky and sobering up until Sunday night. His words. Quite right too. Quite right too. It's not that often that you hit 60. Hey, Lanky. Did they not have a fall? Yeah, I think they did, and that's why he was sold, wasn't it? Butland, what's it fine? Just try to catch up the comments. Tom says, ha ha. Right, where was I? Talking about Brendan and the fact that he was talking about Mr. Huffy, Haksabanovic. And we did, I mean, we got, what did we get for him? 1.75 million or something? Anyway, um, it's just one of those things. It's another player, but has it been a good window? Let's go back to the players that have came in. Where's my list? So the players that we've signed, Awata, an option to buy, well, it was an obligation to buy. And I think we were probably done the Alan McGregor missed. I think Brendan Rodgers' wrong choice of manager. Do you still think, Paul, do you still think that he is? That's it, beer time, but yeah, Chrissy, it's beer time. It's just uh, San Miguel. San Miguel. Because that's all I could get at the shop at the last minute. And I had to grab it on the way home. Right, let's talk about Paul Baird. Any news I've missed? No. It's been quiet. Abada signed the 4-year contract extension. That's the best news yet. Um, Paul. Paul says that he still doesn't think that Brendan's the right man for the job. alcohol is weed for you. Is weed legal? It is legal over here to a certain extent. Yeah, you can go into a coffee shop and get it here. Not that I do, but yeah, there's coffee shops all around the town. They're not really coffee shops. You just go and buy your weed. It's a bit like a tobacconist that sells weed. It's weird. Anyway, Haxler's gone. Hopefully, Bernaby will get his head down, but we need a bit of bite in the park. Yep. Lorna says Brendan is the right man for us. When you look at the candidates that were that, had, that were in the line for the job, Brendan's the only one that could have come in, and Caspar is he an option? Lol. McCarthy's just signed a 5-year extension. Pat's on the straight vodka, I think. I think Pat has been drinking. We need Big Lustig back. Yeah, we do. And that's another player that we should never go off. He should have been around for the nine to the treatment table. To get an over £3 grand a week. Right, let's talk about the players that have came in. Awata, obligation to buy. We've signed Ohm, right? We've signed Marco, we've signed Yang, Kwon, Rocky, Lager, Gustav, Palmer, and Phillips. When you look at them, I think the only ones that the manager had a big signing in is going to be Phillips, Palmer, and Lager because he knew the three players, and maybe Rocky. But there's 5 players that we've signed this summer that, although the manager maybe ticked the box and said, "Yeah, we'll take them," they weren't his choice. I think these were players that were lined up before the end of last season, which is always difficult when a manager comes in. It's always difficult. And he wanted to put his own stamp on things and he wants to change it slightly. But we'll see how much he changes it on Sunday. I heard McCarthy was given a new role to wrap Mikey Johnson in cotton. Mikey Johnson was in training today. You seen him in training? As you look at it in front of the sunbed, yeah, it's these new. I got new lights, right? Because that's even worse, isn't it? Could put the disco lights on. Let's get the green ones on. There we go. Got a green light. Yeah, there we go. Oh my goodness, man, this is nuts. Rogers would have known about home. If the Champions League go well, do you think we'll start investing into big transfers? And I changed these lights. I'm just noticing these lights are just ridiculous. You should really test things out before you go live. And the lighting that's just went a different colour. The lighting situation will change in the next couple of weeks for the late night lives. And the studio will look different as well. Anyway, let's move on. Just switched on to Sky Sports. Bernardo's medical is done. It was done ages ago. It was done about 2 o'clock this afternoon. It was done about 2 o'clock this afternoon. Rogers will spiel it a job. There's one thing that I'm pretty sure of. High percentage sure of. Brendan lights would give you a Caesar. It would give me a Caesar as well. Brendan will be here for 3 years. He will not. He will not walk out on us a second time. Not a chance. Not a chance. Can someone give me an overview? An overview of what, Charlie? An overview of the players that were brought in. Right, the players that were brought in this window. Awata, Ohm, Tilo, Yang, Kwon, Rocky, Lagerbelke, Palmer, Phillips. We've given new contracts to McGregor. Now, this is the important part because this is what Brendan did the first time round. He gave players like Bruni and everybody new extended contracts and on bigger wages. He's done that to McGregor, Kyogo, Maida, Abada, and Welsh, right? So that's the mainstay of your team. And Brendan, he did that the last time. He did that the last time to make sure that you've got a core of a team going forward. These lights keep on change. They shouldn't change. Going to have to get a new camera for the laptop as well. Awata was a loan deal. Yeah, but Awata was an obligation to buy. Right, these lights are doing my head in because they keep changing colour. Awata was obligation to buy, so we had to buy him this summer. Any more news just yet? Nope, nothing yet. We've already passed the zombies. I think we should place Harry Kewell with Bruni. Nope, definitely not. What's the rumours about Bruni going to Hibs? Hope that doesn't come true. Saudi money is going to kill European football. Short-term loan, leases on loan, winger. I'm just reading this. It's just people trying to book. Nat Phillips, Paulo Bernardo, Palma. Does this? What's going on with these lights, man? My goodness, lighting is terrible. These lights just keep changing on their own accord. You're a happy clapper. Terminated. Nice have terminated goalkeeper Casper's contract consent. I don't think we'll go in and get him. Surely not. Surely not. Fuck. Surely not. Got to test that goalie of theirs. We have to test that goalie. And I need to get this lighting situation sorted out. I've got these new lights and they're just nonsense. Oh, wait, that's that one. Two different remote controls for lights. So all you need. Right, Drip, smash the lights. The right, Lanky, right, get them on it. Get the thumbs up. I would play Maida up front. Need to turn off the button. It shouldn't be changing. Right, there we go. Whoa. Turn that right down. There we go. That's better, isn't it? And then that one. Yeah, that's a bit better. There we go. That's a bit better. Saudi money. The English media crying like babies. Yeah, and it's fantastic. I need to turn that one off behind, don't I? That's the nonsense one. That's the one that's a pain in the ass. Do you think we'll do well in the Champions League? Says Charlie. I think I've said this. I've said this for weeks now. Kevin was also on light duties today at work. Was he, John? Why? Talking about the Champions League, I have said for probably about a month and a half now, our target has to be third spot minimum. Uh, what's that? I think the Champions League we have to finish third. It has to be that has to be our minimum ask. Our minimum ask has to be third. We need to finish third and drop down into the Europa. The reason I want to finish and drop down into the Europa is going to be a hard competition this year again. I mean, the teams that are in it are fantastic teams. When you look at the Champions League, if we get through to the next round in the Champions League, right, we're going to get one game if you're lucky, right? And I heard the Europa draw was held up as they were waiting on the Spanish FA president. That's terrible. That's terrible. And the outrage here in Spain against this guy has been absolutely fantastic. The men's football have been putting up banners, coming out with banners on the pitch. It's brilliant. And it's, he should have been. I think he's been sacked anyway. Lanky dropped the charges for lack of evidence. It still looked like you've vaselined your head. Maybe I did. You into that kind of stuff? You into it? Anyway, right. Sydney, Sydney Divine's coming in. It's not Van Hooydonk. That one's done and dusted by the looks of it. Uh, Phone. Casper Schmeichel's. There's something could be in this, by the way. Can't see it. Can't see it. Can't see it. Right, let's get back to the poll. There are 424 people voted. We're talking about, and I was asked earlier on in the window. We were asked right at the beginning of the season if I thought it'd been a good transfer window, and at that point, it hadn't been. The fans are pretty much split tonight. There are 487 people online watching the live at the moment, and 56% have said yes, and 44% have said no. 56 to 44. It's getting close. It's getting close. So we'll settle for third. The final of the Europa is in Dublin. Exactly, Paul. Exactly. We're all off to Dublin in the green. Could you imagine how many Celtic fans? Dublin couldn't cope. Dublin is too small a city to cope with the absolute amount of fans that would turn up for that game. Big Pierre's boys coming, says Ian. It's not what I'm reading, Ian. It's not what I'm reading, but someone got a spanner next to the name. How have some got a spanner? It's because they're moderators. Because to make sure that they get the Huns off the channel. Best move of the night is Haksabanovic out the door. I eat his gloves. Baz, you got. Yeah, I know. I'm getting ripped to death about these lights. It looks like I've got jaundice. You listening? I need to get this lighting situation. Give me a minute until I switch this one off. Is that making any improvement? It's these bloody new lights, isn't it? It's only going to get worse over the next couple of weeks. Anyway, I'm just a spanner in general, says Lanky. Not like Mr. Tango. That's all right. Not bad, mate. It's all right. Imagine giving the Champions League for Stoke City. Exactly. Exactly. Um, did he go to Stoke City or did he not go to Greece? Or Turkey? He was in Turkey, was he not? He was going to Turkey. Better, Baz. It's a lot better. Uh, pour a pint of sangria. Nobody drinks sangria here. The Spanish don't drink sangria. That's the thing. It's only tourists that drink sangria with fruit and that in it. The Spanish don't drink sangria, believe it or not. Anyway, right. Let me get some Celtic news. Still looking for a left back. It's unbelievable that they've left it this in the transfer deadline day. I mean, I can understand getting rid of Haksabanovic, but you know, the big one of the week for me has been Phillips. It has been Phillips. I mean, getting him in for the game this weekend. Um, would you take Ryan Beckner? I don't know. I don't know if I would take him. So I just want one. It's disappointing for me that we knew we wanted a striker and we didn't pay the money for the Brondby guy. Didn't pay the money for the Brondby guy. Sydney's not coming. Deal's been blocked. Yeah, I said we said that about 20. We've been on for 49 minutes. Oh, there you go. Been on for. What do you think about Phillips? I think he's going to be a cracking player for us. He did well. He did well for Liverpool 2 seasons ago, and Liverpool had a bit of their own crisis in defence. John Lennon's Spaniard in the works. Phillips did well a couple of seasons ago when they had their own little mini crisis, and he helped them out then. And he was fantastic for them in the Champions League and the league. So I think it'd be good for us. Good. We needed someone to come in and play that position with experience. Getting the two younger guys in was okay. They were never going to be first team choice for the Champions League game. Big game for Rodgers on Sunday. He needs to get the fans back on side. This is true. I think if we do the result on Sunday, there's no sign of a goalkeeper yet. People are talking about Schmeichel only because he's a free agent. I'm at Parkhead Cross, waiting around to see if anything's happened. Stephen, we have a man at Celtic Park. What Celtic fans view does have a man at Celtic Park this evening. The Huns coming to the door collecting for the team. I'm going to put it. It's terrible. It's terrible. There's no chance of Ryan B. Yeah, that's what I thought. Bring back Sutton. It's interesting because Alan Thompson signed for Celtic 23 years ago. I was talking to Tomo last weekend. Ralston's a bomb scare. And you know that Tomo, he was a winger and a half for us. We need somebody like that. I mean, the only person that's come close over the years is maybe James Forrest years ago that could run and take on players and come in and score coming off the wing. Now, you've got to remember, James Forrest scored it, but Tomo just was different class at it. His free kicks. Hopefully, young Lewis that's come in, he's going to come in. Tomo's some guy. He's some guy. He's some man. He's, it's good 2 or 3 times I've met him here now. It's good. If we want a striker, why sell Vata? It looks good. There's been people that say that they actually watch the games and Vata seems to struggle sometimes. I'll take a draw, get out there and move on. I would take a draw this weekend. I think it'll be 1-1. Let's have some score predictions. It is Friday night. It is Friday night. It's late on a Friday night. And what happened to Andy Walker and Sly Sports? I have no idea. Who cares? Vata needs a loan. Vata was offered the option to go on loan if he signed a new contract. He didn't want to sign a new contract. He wanted to keep his options open. Celtic then said, if you're not going to sign a new contract, we're going to sell you. And then said to Celtic that he doesn't want to sign for another team just now because he wants to keep his options open. He's playing Celtic like a fiddle. Get him out the door. Get him out the door. Right. Scores. 2-1 to Celtic. 2-1 to Celtic. Says Lorna. 2-1 to Celtic. 3-1 to Celtic. 3-1 Celtic. 2-1. 0-0 draw. John, it could be on a shout there. It's either going to be a really boring game, right? Or it's going to be a game where it could be a 3-3. Uh, what was that? It's a wee punch nugget. Hot, not hot in your. What are you talking about, Tom? Have we signed anyone yet? Says Mikey. We have not. Not tonight. Paolo is in the building. He's in the building. He passed his medical earlier on today. Paperwork should have been done, but Celtic is not putting any details out as yet. So we have a poll running on the video, and it's had 467 votes. 467 votes. 56% say it's been a good transfer window, and 43% say no. 470 votes. Now, how does the vote count keep going up and down? How can people vote and then not vote? Let's get up 500 votes. If you haven't voted, make sure you vote. It's at 474. 56% says yes, 44% no. We're trying to sign a kid on Sunday playing terrible. Transfer window has been a joke. Says David. Transfer window has been a joke. We've signed how many players? We just list all the players again. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, eight, nine players have been signed so far. Did we really need? Here's a question for you: Did we really need to bring in nine players this window? Has bringing in nine players been a benefit? Because let's face it, last season we didn't need nine players to come in. We didn't need nine players to come in to improve the first team. And this window was meant to be all about improving the first team players. Um, and as it stands, do you know there's yeah, five will be project players. Five are going to be project players. The best thing that's happened this window is the extension of the contracts. I mean, Phillips is going to go. Palmer, the only one that you could see maybe I'm going to say Ohm, Yang, Rocky, and Gustav and Palmer. So there's five players that I'm going to say that will make a difference and that might get a game. What's to improve? We only lost Jota. No, we didn't, Pat. We lost Jota. We lost Moy, Aaron Moy, who retires. And Aaron Moy was absolutely fantastic for us. Lost Aaron Moy. And then we sold a defender. We sold a defender. And those three players were three first team players. We've lost three first team players. Breaking news: Tavernier's already on the pitch looking for his penalty. He's a swiggle it. Chalpel says they're all good signings. Yeah, they're all good signings, but my question is, my point is, how many players we didn't need to improve the squad that much? When we look back to the bench last season, we were able to bring on players. Our bench looked solid last season. Our bench, when we brought on players, it was like, yeah, we had a strong bench. What's happened? Injuries. Now the fact that we've been absolutely tanked for injuries. Come in this way then. If you can squeeze in. Come in. No, fucking boxes. Jesus God, man. No, letting the dog in. Cheers. Right. Not signing a left back and centre forward has been probably the most disappointing thing in this window. If I was a bit longer, we could sit here like this and only see Phillips and Palmer. Other players have been lined up by Ange and Co. Yes, and that's the. This is what I'm saying. When you look at the players that were probably signed by Ange, that were definitely Awata, Tilo, Yang, Kiwon, maybe Ohm, as well. So there's five players already, right? That were signed by Ange. You see that the ones that Brendan's brought in has been Rocky, Gustav, Palma, and Phillips. He's only brought in four of his own players. You know, he asked for quality. He asked for quality. Phillips will boss it on Sunday. 2-3. 2-3 Celtic against Paul Hogan. Yep. Greg Taylor has not been at the races. Greg Taylor's not been at the races this year, which is disappointing. He's had a fantastic couple of seasons. Let's put this into perspective about Greg Taylor. 3 seasons ago, everyone wanted Greg Taylor out the team. Everyone said that Greg Taylor wasn't good enough. Everybody and their dog, the amount of Celtic fans that were saying Taylor needs to go this summer. Taylor needs to go. You know, that's the first thing that this Postecoglou needs to do because nobody could pronounce his name to start. And it was like everyone was saying, get him out the door. And he turned out to be one of the best. But he was one of the first names that we put down on the team sheet last season. Do you know? but we did need an improvement. He needed some competition. We brought competition in January, and it's not been as good as what we thought it'd be. I like Taylor, says Chilpel. Roll on Sunday, 3-1 to Celtic. Stop stealing my patter, Joseph Murphy, says John. I don't even know who Joseph Murphy is. No, there is there. Right, let's see what the poll is doing because there's 525 people online. No, they're not. Just jumped down. How dare they? Right, the poll's sitting at 513 votes. Has the transfer window been a good window? And it's still at 58% for yes, 42% for no. For no. I live in Exlufus, not at Celtic Park. Live in Exlufus. So Stephen is at Celtic Park. He's outside. Stephen, is there anyone kicking about? Is there any fans kicking about? It is there. Is there lights on at Celtic Park? More importantly, do you see anybody walking about? Well done. Crazy dog. Let's get Stephen back on. Agree, Baz. Bernardo deal done. About time, Celtic. I've got. You get that funny feeling that the Bernardo deal is going to be the last one of the night. You just get that horrible, horrible feeling. There he is. A minute to put it back on another screen. 1 minute ago. Done deal. So he's finally done, even though his medical was ages ago. Uh, Talking to the doors, Baz. It must be the lights. Bottom line, too many squad players over 30. Anyway, interesting. Somebody's walking about with a torch. We're missing a brown type player. Yep. Scouts staying at the Royal Infirmary looking for more projects. Signings. We might get on. Well, what position does that Bernardo play? Centre midfield, and he's also an attacking midfield player. And he's absolutely meant to be a cracking player. If he's half as good as Jota, we've won a watch this transfer window. If he's half as good as Jota, the fact that he has now, it is now official. I don't know what took them that long. I don't know what took them so long. No idea what took them so long. That should have been announced this afternoon. Should really have been done this afternoon. But will we get another player in? Number 10 role. One Celtic Twitter, 1 year deal done, complete. Bernardo. Right, we just had it. Oh, that's going into there. Got it back up for those who just missed it. We did put that up. So yeah, that's him in the door. If he's half as good as Jota, half as good, we've won a watch with an option to buy, season long loan with an option to buy. That's a good one. It's good that we've got him onto. It's good that we've got that option to buy, and it's only going to cost us £3 million. He's only going to cost us £3 million, and it could possibly be the best £3 million that we spend next summer. Next summer. I wish it was an obligation to buy, but anyway, the dog's called Sober. Dog talking. That's interesting fighting Irish. I think the treble papered over the cracks. When you think back, before we lost Jota, Moy and Starfelt, when you look back, and I think Ange knew that he wasn't going to get to spend 10 million on just one player. He was like, "Let me go out," and he said it, and he said it's Ange give you hints before. He said it's all about perspective. You buy a 3, 4, 5 million pound player, and you turn him. Excuse me. You turn him into the 15, 20 million player. He said, you go out and buy a 15 million pound player, and then you can turn him into a 30 million pound player. But was Ange full of it? Because I then watched, make your cameras fuzzy. I know it's the lighting. It's the lighting, and yeah, we already know this. Notifications are coming in late tonight. It's because the lighting in here is crap and it's making the camera look fuzzy. I can only apologise. I can try to turn these lights up again, but then they end up like disco lights. Is that a bit better? Still fuzzy. CCTV and Jota are only 6 million. One going for 25 million. The way that Ange seen it was he wanted to honest mistakes on Sunday. It's going to be loads. Ange wanted to go out and buy players that he could turn, right? But then this is a thing about Ange because he was at Tottenham. He said, look, you don't have to go out and buy 50, 100 million pound players because if you look in different markets, if you don't look where everyone else is looking, you can find some gems. You can find some complete gems in the market. And it's basically what we were doing. Hi, Barry. Sorry, I've been smoking a little. Go yourself, Ali. Go yourself, Ali. As we didn't kick a ball for March, if we're honest. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. We beat them, but we didn't ever give them a real doing. This is true. And this is right. And did Ange change the team so much towards the end of the season, once we had won the league, to show the boards, look, the players that we've got in aren't good enough. Aren't good enough. Champagne says 23.59 and he wants a left back, please. I think Yang could be a star in the Champions League. I think he could as well. But we've just brought in another winger that Yang might not even get in the team. You know, Yang might not get in the team. Ange knew he was leaving. Of course, Ange knew he was leaving. Ange knew he was leaving in April, and he played the board an absolute blinder. Absolute blinder. The fact that the Celtic offered him the biggest deal that any Celtic manager was given, was offered. Um, he was offered that 3-year contract. Get the Oliver picture up and tagging Celtic, please. Jan can play both flanks. Do you think Palmer will get a shout? Yes, I think Palmer will be. He'll get a shout this weekend, just because it offers up something different. As you look like you're on the telly for the 1970s. That's all right. It's okay. I'm eating crisps for the 1970s as well. Yang is the man. Ange can sure talk the talk. He can't that. We all know that. Right. We have been on for 1 hour and 8 minutes. Transfer news update is Paulo Bernardo joins Celtic from Benfica on a season-long loan. He has been confirmed this evening with a long season of a loan and an option to buy option. Buy, we can buy him at the end of the year. That's the good thing about it. That is a good thing about it. And I mean, the transfer does go on like the Jota one made a couple of years ago. And Jota was obviously at Benfica at the time, and he was a fantastic success for Celtic. Fantastic success. And I think if Paulo can go on to be half a player that Jota was, he's going to cost us half the money. But Portuguese youth international has been known for his technical skill, vision, creativity in midfield, and that's where it basically matters. He's been fantastic in European youth tournaments, and I think that the move to Celtic for him and why he wanted to come here is purely from the fact that you get to play in the Champions League, and it's a big jump up for him. And the fact that he can't get into the Benfica team, we all know that the Benfica team is absolutely fantastic, and I think that it's great that we're cherry picking their best players from the youth side. But then it comes back to this the old chestnut of why are we not doing the same with our own young players? Well, the new players get a game on Sunday. I don't think um, Paulo will because he didn't train with the team today. He might train with the team tomorrow. Tamak's getting sick already. But for the game tomorrow. Yes, James. Abada out and Yang in for me, says Sinn Féin. But when you came on, I had a half, you had a half pint. I've rattled 5 cans and you're still on the half. That's the, I can't go. I can't leave the screen to go. Should we wind this up and then we'll start another live in 10 minutes? And that way I can try and sort the lights out and I can refresh my beer. So we'll just keep going. Prediction for Sunday: 2-0. 2-0. I think there's 3 hours to go. You never know. There's hours to go in the transfer window, so you never know. Missy's topping the pint up. No, she's not. I didn't know where she is. She's gone. I really need to sort out this lighting situation though. Kaizen, tell me what you've been smoking. Right, let's get back to the big news of the evening so far. Is obviously Leila Bada has signed a 4-year extension. Paulo Bernardo has joined Celtic at last. I don't know what he's been doing for the last day, because it was all done and dusted this afternoon. He does join on from Benfica on a season-long loan. He's become the latest addition to Brendan Rodgers' side. Celtic say, with the Portuguese midfield player having joined from Benfica with an option to buy. The move is still subject to international clearance. That happens all the time. Highly rated 21-year-old has represented his country at Inter 21, and he's a graduate of the Benfica youth system. He made his debut for them in the Champions League group stage against Bayern Munich. So he has played in the Champions League for Benfica against Bayern Munich, and that was his first game. Can you imagine your first game for your team being a Champions League game? He went on to make 23 appearances for Benfica, although he spent the second half of the last season on loan. So he's further ahead than what Jota was because Jota hadn't even played in the first team. So we've got a player that's had 23 appearances. The player went on to say, I'm very excited to be here. It's a great club and I'm ready to be on the pitch and help the team. Our ambitions are to be champions and to perform very well in the group stages of the Champions League and go as far as we can. Celtic manager Brendan Rodgers said, Paulo is a young player who will come in with an opportunity to give us some strength and depth in that midfield area. He's already first team experience at a top club in Benfica, which is something he will bring to Celtic. We are looking forward to working with him over the course of this season. So that's interesting to Brendan. He knows that he's already played for Benfica. They know that he has that little bit of experience. And who's going to be in the? We mentioned the team, right? We mentioned the team, and we have now no idea what the team will be for Sunday. No idea. Ian Beale's a YTS manager. Schmeichel, too old. We need a younger keeper. I don't think we're going to go for Schmeichel. I don't think so. You've got that funny feeling. Just joined Kev from the Shire. Just joined, in my opinion. Both Phillips and Palmer must start, along with Abada and Yang has done very well. And safe hands, Lanky. Will Kalmack start? Low, of course he will. Of course he will. I just bought a 10 pack. Ha! Just bought a 10 pack. Apparently, Casper is Glasgow bound. Well, here we go. Yang has no end product. Yang's a bit rougher on the edges, and I think he will get better as the season goes on. Michael was no better than Hart offensively. See if we can get any more news. Kaiser, you're Kaiser. That cannot be a Celtic song. That can never be a Celtic song. Kaiser, you absolute madman. It's an interesting quote. Do you remember Lawwell's repeatedly telling us every penny will be reinvested into the club? So let's see what the transfer poll tells us now, because that's has got another player in. We have 585 people have voted this evening. Casper comes in, Liam Hart says Stuart Ramsey. Why not? Kaiser, because it can't. That, can, that cannot be a song. That cannot be a song. There's something in the air. It shone so bright. Arnan. No, not a chance. No. Come on. Right, anyway, let's get back to the poll. Has it been a good transfer window? Right, we have now got another player, and that's 10 players. 10 players. Did we really need 10 players? Did we really need 10 players? That's the thing. It was all about bringing in this window for me was bringing in quality. She's a runner. He was a lucky man. Michael Smoty at Glasgow Airport on the carousel waiting to be picked up on a fee. Terrible, terrible ban. I wonder if I move that light over here. No. It is down to the camera on the laptop, I'm afraid. That's why it's so bad. Peter Schmeichel has been spotted. Right, updating the Celtic transfer news. Celtic sealed the deadline day deal for Benfica's Bernardo. Is it in the air? I'm not even going to sing it again. He shone so bright, Bernardo. No, it can't be a song. Celtic have signed. There's Sky have also got the details. Also, 21-year-old follows the arrival of Nate Phillips and Lewis Palmer. Now, we were told there would be at least 4 signings. Some people hoped for 5. We hoped for a keeper. We did hope for a keeper, but we've got a damn Atletico, Lazio's in Rome. Taster strategy seem a bit muddled with the translation of the new boss. Disco DJ, nah. Hit the like, make sure the thumbs up. Transfer. How many thumbs up do we have? We'll jump back to this page. We do have 244 thumbs up, so make sure you smash that thumbs up. Right, the big news tonight is obviously Bernardo has been signed. Lila Bada. You'll love that song, Baz. No, we're going to make sure that the Gustav, the Laga Gustav, that's going to be our song more than anything. If you sign a keeper, I would change into my note. Yes, something today says if we sign a keeper tonight, he's going to change it to. I'm looking at you and talking. I'm just I'm only looking at you and talking to them. Oh dear, good with the ball at his feet. Murphy, thumbs up. Um, who's signed today? Who's signed today? The only person that's signed today is Bernardo. Signed tonight, you mean? Paulo Bernardo is signed tonight from Benfica. Uh, we knew that was going to happen. You know, it's one of these ones. It's like the worst kept secret. So the players that we've signed now stands at Iwata, Ohm, Marco Tilo, Yang, Kwon, Rocky, Gustav Lagerbelke, Palmer, Phillips, and the big one tonight was the fact Paulo Bernardo signed. The players that we've given you contracts to, so that's 10 players we've signed this window. 10 players. Did we really need 10 players? Did you need them? We needed quality. We needed 4 or 5. Well, look at it this way, right? We lost Jota, we lost Starfelt, we lost Aaron Moy. Losing these 3 players meant we needed to bring 3 players in to cover them. right? We needed to add then another 3 players of quality. Have we brought in the quality that we expected in this window? Tell me that in the comments. Certainly not singing money, money, money. No, John, definitely not. Inflated squad recipe for disaster. Says Slade in the squad has been okay this window, but the first 11 definitely cheers, Pedro. I think we've got cover for every position. We've had cover for every position. We've had cover for every position for the last couple of seasons. When you look at the bench that we've had over the last couple of years, we've had amazing benches. We needed players that were going to come in and take players out of the team. Next season, Benji moved to Australia. Hart moved to Spain. We're left with Bain. He's not going to move to Spain. He's going to move to America. He's going to move to America. Something today. Option to buy is good. Yes, it is. No, not if we have ambitions in Europe. No, not as good as Jota so far. Paul Banks says, not quality. Uh, no quality is going to come to this league. He's saying Jota wasn't quality. Brendan Rodgers panic buying, not a clue what he's doing this season will be disaster, says David King. Kaiser says Casper Schmeichel on the mega bus up the road to Brendan's barber just mailed me on WhatsApp. I'm going to sit here, but popcorn for that one. Was hoping for. Right, Derek's got it in one. We needed a left back, right? And we didn't get one in. We didn't get one in. But I think they will turn out world class. Yeah, the players that were brought in will turn out world class. Well, maybe not world class, but they'll come in and they'll be fantastic players for it to sell on. But we didn't need that. We needed players to come in and be first team ready. Players that could, if we lost Starfelt, a player would come in. No, we've done that with Phillips, right? So there's one player that will say that we've done a bit of business with. Getting Paulo Bernardo from Benfica is going to be it's a cracking bit of business. Absolute fire rod at paradise. What a night that'll be. You are not kidding. It's one of the games that I wish I was going back home for. And that is going to be some night. And it'll be some night outside the ground as well, because they'll be over a couple of days before. And it wouldn't surprise me if they've got something arranged with the Union Bears. Did we enhance? Tried to replace. Feyenoord bouncing. They hate the Rangers too. Yep, they hate them more than anything. Sorry for lads. The phone went mental there. Lads, with all respect, the Royals, you have no chance with, with Sergei Michael. We're not wanting Schmeichel in the door anyway. Queen's 11. Ones that are panicking are not real fans, says Joe Dock. Um, it's amazing that it is having. I noticed it down at the pub. You've got guys that go to the game, they go to the games, and they see the way the team plays. See, when you're watching the telly, you don't get a true outlook on the game because you don't see what players are doing off the ball. You don't see the position that players are taking up. You don't see the way that the manager interacts for the full 90 minutes with, So people that go to the game have a lot of respect and a lot of time for people that go to the game rather than somebody that sits on the couch and watches it on the telly. Because, I mean, I spent over 25 years going to games, and when you talk to people that don't go to games and they have their say on football, and it's like, but you're not seeing the whole picture. That's the rubbish, wash. And you're like, you really need to see the whole picture of what's actually going on the pitch. Do you know what I mean? And this is, it's interesting. It's interesting. Who got a timeout there? Queen's 11, you're looking for a timeout. So you're flubbing your clothes. Leave him, Kaiser. Be nice. He's been nice so far. My dad's a taxi driver. Casper has been picked up for the airport. He's looking to get a bag of wheels. Oh, jeez. Honestly, we're not getting Michael. Let's put this to bed. We need a striker. We need the only thing that needs to come in now is maybe a goalkeeper. But we knew we needed a goalkeeper, right? We knew we needed a goalkeeper, and the long term. And this is why we kept. It's actually making sense now, and this is why the board made sure that Bain got a 3-year deal because Hart is not going to stay at Celtic after this season. He's going to go to America, right? Hart's going to go to America and play his last year or a bit. You remember, he's only 36. He can do another 2 years in America quite easily. I'll say it's not the best fast paced game over there, is it? And we needed a left back. We also could have done with a striker. But the fact is that we got Bain on this 3-year contract because we knew Hart was leaving, right? So we knew we needed a first team goalkeeper, right? We know it's been well documented that our other keeper, Benji, his missus, is in Australia. And she spoke openly about on her mad social media because she's seemingly some social media guru or whatever, or influencer. And she said that look, he's going to come over here to me. He's going to come over once his deal's done at Celtic. Right, where's Stephen? Because he was outside Celtic Park. Sorry, I'm talking to you at the same time. We need a keeper in the late 20s. Yes, we do, Chill. We do. And we could have had one if we went and spent 8 million. If we went and spent 8 million, that guy would have walked to Celtic. But Bain is atrocious. Brendan Rodgers said that Bain is a good number two keeper. He's a good number two or a number three keeper to have. And Bain has obviously no ambition to play football on a week to week basis. I mean, for me, it's at his age, you would want to, you can understand he's still going to get a medal, right? But when he retires, right, he's going to say, "Yeah, I spent how long's he been at Celtic? He's been at Celtic about 6 years, 4 or 5 years. No, it is. It's about 6 years, isn't it? Anyway, he's sat. He's sat. Is that your mic splattered with Chris? No, no, not. You should see the wee munchy bowl I've got. I was well prepared for this one tonight. Bean, what's this? Liverpool finally get their man. Nope, don't want to know that. Any rumours or what we've done? I think there's rumours going around, but there's nothing really. I've got a funny feeling that we're done, but Michael who's been released from. But there's no chance, no chance, no chance. Alistair Johnson, uh, done. I think we're. I don't think we're done. I think there might be something. Oh my goodness! Let me just double check one more. Everyone's jumping on the Casper Schmeichel thing. If he is a free agent, he doesn't have to be signed tonight. That's the thing. But I don't think Celtic will go for him. I don't think Celtic will go for him. He doesn't. If he's a free agent, it doesn't have to go. It doesn't have to go through tonight. If he's a free agent, he can be signed after the transfer window. So anything else on Bernard? Nope. A minute. What's this one? Uh, all the you just get that horrible, horrible feeling that that's going to be us. Where's Stephen? He was at Celtic Park. He was at Celtic Park. Stephen, are you still watching? Um, are you still watching? Because if you are, you're the man that's at Celtic Park. I thought you'd have Mitch Connolly moment now. Nope. I was on my phone. We should have gone for Butland. No, we shouldn't have. Evening Baz, Harkey for the Shire. Phillips will fit right into the defence. Yep. He's an experienced defender. Yeah, we've said that already. Palmer could be a secret weapon on Sunday. I think so as well. And I think so, Paul Bernardo, if he goes into that midfield, I would drop, right, now that we've got these new players in, I'm going to put it out there that I think Turnbull will get dropped. Shock horror. Still a lot to get done at Celtic Park. We wait until 12 a.m. John's your missus work at Celtic Park. Schmeichel would be brilliant as number one and number two. Like we say, he's going to come in. He doesn't have to come in tonight. The interesting thing is we need to get a left back in, and there's absolutely nothing on any left backs whatsoever, and that's going to be the disappointing thing. That's an interesting view. All right, what do you think about this? Utterly disappointing yet again. The Tory cronies make up Celtic hierarchy, choose finance over football progress, more money than at any point in our history. Border, shambles, corrupt, negligent. You choose. Tell me your thoughts in the comments. That's not my comment, by the way. That's someone else's. Don't want to press that. So we have. I don't know if Rogers has left. How Rogers left it with Schmeichel. A lot of people are saying that they fell out, but I don't know. Hope he doesn't go for the Leicester left back. We should sign Comedy Golson. No, sign the big guy up front for Livingston. We lose or drop points when Turnbull plays. Um, Taylor had a good year last year. Yeah, Taylor did. 3-0 panic over for Sunday, says DJ Singy. For DJ Singy. Stop giving it Baz. Joe saved our arse. When you look at it like that, right, Joe had two saves to make. Their keeper had about five saves to make. So who saved who? Hart, Alistair Johnson, Phillips, Gustav, Taylor, Ohm, Calmack, O'Reilly, Maida, Yang, Kyogo. There's no room for Paulo Bernard in that team for you. I would um I would think about who wrote that. Just because we have money doesn't mean that players will come into Scotland. It was just somebody I know. That's an interesting team. I would actually think that Ohm might get left out of that, and we would go with the Portuguese guy in midfield. Might be a bit controversial because he's just walked through the door, but it'll give us something. But I think Ohm for that game might be just is not what we're needing. I think if Paulo is as good as what we think he is, and as good as what Benfica think he is, you've got to remember he played 23 games for Benfica, and then they put him out on loan the second half of last season. So I would go with Hart, Alistair Johnson, Phillips, Gustav, Taylor. I would then put in the middle, I would put Calmack, O'Reilly, I would put Paulo, Bernardo, Maida, Yang, and Kyogo. That would be my team. That would be my team. And I think that we'll win 3-1. Let's write it down. No, I'm going to go 2-1. 2-1. I think I think we'll go for 2-1. Where's my pen? Let's write this down. David Stockett in the house. It's been dead. Not Maida. Not Maida. I think Maida will start, whether he finishes or not. Start Lewis, Nat, and Powell on Sunday. Yep. We need to. I think. Tarmac says honestly, I can't wait for Sunday. As far as I'm concerned, yes. I think if we do the business, I'm going to put 2-1. Right? That's my score. Um, 1 2 2-1 to Celtic. 2-1 to Celtic. Can Yang play on the right? Yes, he can. Can you give a shout out to wee James Sweeney, who suddenly passed away? A week Liverpool Rogue. Uh, my thoughts are with James and his family. John, and sorry for your loss. Sorry for your loss. So a big shout out to James Sweeney. God rest his soul. God rest his soul. I like Yang as number 10, 2-footed. You're an influencer, Baz. You influence my mood in the mornings. That's maybe too much information. That's maybe far too much information for this time. Rest in peace, James. Anyway, I think the goal that they get will be a penalty. Will be a penalty. It's good to see the family that are on the channel give a lot of respect to James Sweeney. So many players know nothing about. So many players haven't got a clue. Hit them on the night on the right hand side. Barisic is injured. Tom Mack says so many players need to know nothing about how many players they haven't got a clue. I think what makes it interesting this game. Did you see the Stubbs interview? No, it didn't. But I got sent it, and I've not had time to watch it yet because I've been live. Big shout out to Andy. Big shout out to Andy. No, I haven't. I haven't watched it yet. I got sent it. Give me 2 seconds, and I go see if I can play it. Um, where is it? On. I'll watch it later. What was Stubbs saying? Tell me, because like I said, I haven't seen it. I did get sent it, but he was talking about Jim McCluskey. I grew up with him. Hart, Johnson, Phillips, Lager, Taylor, Calmack, Awata, O'Reilly, Abada, Kyogo, Maida, says Kenneth. So you've not got any room for the new guys that have just came in the door. Would you not? Would you really bring in Awata when you're just brought in a holding midfield player from Benfica? I would play Paulo Bernardo before I played Awata personally, purely for the fact that this guy's played 23 times for Benfica. His first game for Benfica was in the Champions League against Bayern Munich. So I think he would get a shout. For, Kenneth, we're all allowed our opinions in this channel, but that's just my shout. I think we will go with someone that has had that experience of playing at that little bit higher level in football. Because let's face it, Awata's not really done much. Sunday, the last 15 minutes playing at an empty stadium, that would be fantastic. That would be brilliant for the players. That would be absolutely brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. Ref told him as long as he was refing a Celtic game, he would never give us a penalty. That's no surprise. That's no surprise. I don't know. I don't know why you're surprised about that. If you've not watched Paul Larkin's documentary, Anyone But Celtic, where he talks about the Lanarkshire Referee Association, which is a real thing, by the way. And the Lanarkshire Referees Association is where referees are all doctrinated through the Masonic Lodge, and they're all picked through the Masonic Lodge, and they're all members of the Masonic Lodge. So anybody that thinks that this doesn't happen in this day and age needs their head screwed the other way around, and they need it taken off to see if there's anything inside, and then they need their head put back on because this went on for absolutely forever. Joe the Pope says that he's looking forward. Yep, that's a brilliant documentary. Bernardo also speaks good English. Most of the Portuguese and Spanish do. It's unbelievable. We're really, really bad at speaking other languages. Big news at Ibrox says something today. Tumbleweed has just rolled into Ibrox. They're all a bunch of you know what. Squad number 28. He's got correct. Correct. Seen a couple of refs years ago going into a lodge. It's true. It's people think that we're paranoid. We're making this stuff up. We're not. It's stuff that's been spoken about. Um, watch the documentary with anyone but Celtic. Yeah, that's what we're talking about, Charles. That's what we're talking about. It's Paul Larkin's documentary. It's a fantastic one. We actually had Paul through in Fife, where we watched the documentary in the pub, and then we had a question and answer thing with him, and it was fascinating. It's fascinating. Paul's a good lad, good lad. I think we can see. Seeing a penalty was not given to Huns. There's nothing new. Baz, we just need to roll our trousers up and get stuck in. Yeah, that's it. We do. We do. Bernardo has a 100 million contract clause. He must be decent. He's not got 100. Look, we're not buying a player. He's got 3 million. He's worth 3 million. That's nonsense when he's got a 100 million contract clause. We've got an option to buy. Celtic are not buying a player at 100 million, Chris. Right? He's worth 3 million as it stands. I don't know where this 90 million contract clause came from. It's total nonsense. It's total nonsense. There's no way Celtic going to go anywhere near a player. We're definitely not going to go in with an option to buy. Celtic, if that was going to be the case, we would get Phillips on an option to buy. Now, Phillips is worth about 10 million minimum from Liverpool. And we've got him on loan till the January. Until the January. Tommy Burns, yeah. Tommy Burns, what a team he had. And the rest, Paul Banks says they can't well off. Yeah, Tommy Burns. Yeah, Chris, it's the same as Jota. It's an option to buy. So we've got him on loan for the year, and it's an option to buy him. So it's the exact same as Jota. If he turns out to be good, we've got a chance of getting a fantastic player. Now you have to remember, Jota did not play for Benfica. He didn't play in the first team, right? This guy has. He's had 23 games in the first team. He has played in the champion. His very first game for Benfica was in the Champions League. Correct Kaiser about the time. A real journalist from outside Scotland came in and investigated it. It's true, but it's never going to happen. It's just the same as the whole VAR situation. And VAR is going to be under the microscope, under the microscope. Right. There's not a lot of more going on. And there's nothing getting leaked anywhere. Let me just make a text. 2 seconds. See if anyone replies. Usually, the football chat on my phone would be going absolutely mental, but over the last couple of years, it's all died down a bit at this time of night. Where's Stephen? Because Stephen was on the channel and he was actually at Celtic Park. He was at Celtic Park and he was giving us a little update, but there was nothing going on. Tommy, forget telling the players, pull on the jersey. Bernard interview at Celtic Park. Great to get him. He's going to be a fantastic player. He's going to be a fantastic player for us. If he's as good as what Benfica think, and the fact that we seem to be we've got a good relationship with Benfica. So glad we didn't get them in the Champions League. I'm so glad we didn't win. Celtic win or lose or draw. Alan Stubb was spot on. Disappointing about the last game, but we won the league. That's true, Andy. We did win the league. We won the league easily last year, right? When you look back at it. But I think what came down to when it came at the end of the season and the manager changed the team so much, that gave them the opportunity to think that they were progressing and that they were maybe going to get one over us, which I don't think they did. So Bernardo is an option, alone an option to buy. Yes, he is. 4-2. Celtic to humble the filth. Humble the filth. Let me see if there's anything else. Bill focuses on Celtic rather than Euro exit. Head and sand stuff from South Korean land is the big update. Head and sand. We didn't get chucked out the Champions League. We were never in it. Ah, that's the breaking news from Ibrox. We didn't. We didn't they're going to try and get a vote. Well, there you go. He's back home. Must be quiet. News Brendan just ordered a Chinese. Oh, really? Are you go? Are you going to get tickets for a Champions League match? Yes, I am. I think it's fit. There's no way it's 57% of troops think it's been a good transfer window. Let's go back. I'll give you the exact details. Right. There has been, my goodness, 711 votes. It's a fantastic amount of votes. There are currently 512 people online. People are obviously coming in and out watching the video. I have no problem with that at all. Um, there has been 713 votes. Jesus, die on here. I need a drink. 714 votes. 57% said yes, it's been a good transfer window, and 43% says no. So if you haven't voted now, because I'm going to close the votes when it gets to 800 votes. So get your votes in. I want to get it up to 800 votes, and then, whoa, wait a minute. We have text. No, just my brother. Wait a minute. Casper Schmeichel has been released. Do you think we'll go for him? Let's find out. Celtic, you mean everything. Tonight, Celtic fans feel like the kid who opened his last Christmas gift, hoping for a pair of Adidas Predators to get top dog. So it's in the bin. Says Gareth. Oh, yeah, look who's back. If you're lucky, don't take the. Look, you know my name. No, you won't. You won't take the face right off me, right? Because you're a nobody. You're a nobody. You're a nobody. Hands are in the channel. There's two of them. And a minute, it's time to go over here. I'll take the chin off you. Big hard man that is nowhere to be seen. That is absolutely nowhere to be seen. Tam Max Serum. Did you get the other one? You know my name. Banham. And it's amazing how you can start so many channels just to come on and comment. just to come on and comment on this channel. I think it's brilliant. It's hilarious. It is hilarious. Uh, Let me just check this text because we did ask about a goalkeeper. Nah, nah, still no. Yeah, obsessed Huns. Obsessed Huns. Right, let's get back to the votes and see how many votes there is. 58%, 742, still at 58%. Baz Benfica contracts all have 100 million buyout clause in their young players. We documented about it last year. Right, we've got them on an option to buy. There is absolutely no chance that we are spending 100 million on a player from Benfica. Right, there's more chance of us spending 3 million, which is his market value. There's no chance of spending 3 million on him, but there's no chance of spending 100 million. Not a way. 748 votes. 748 votes is it now, John? And it's still at 58% saying yes, 42% saying no. So there must be keep people coming in. Hunt's pretending it's Friday evening, watch a Celtic podcast. Yep. Wonder what the option to buy is. 3 million. Telling you now. 3 million. Is that Spanish donuts you're eating? They're like little mini sausage roll things. They're brilliant. Wait a minute. They're like mini sausage rolls with they've got tomato in them. Tomato. Very nice. Right. Henrik Larsson. He was world class. Huns have major problems in their hands again. Um, Andy, how can I help you? He's a bit. I could do with a drink. She's on the phone. Over here, we eat Greg's. Eat Greg's. Oh my goodness! I was at a bar this evening before lunchtime actually, and you get tapas. You get a beer and a tapas or a wine and tapas for €1.50. For €1.50. Fantastic. Can't beat it. Can't beat it. See, to be honest, the window hasn't been bad business, but the players signed on new deals, top notch. Top notch. 100 million will be the buyout clause. Portuguese clubs do it. Says who really cares. Well, we managed to get Jota for 6 million. This guy has been brought in on an option to buy after his loan. It will be 6.5 million and 20% sell on for Bernardo, says Keith White, which is interesting because he's actually, wish we had tapas in East Lothian, says Cocoa Water, because I mean, we've got Jota for 6.5 million, so I don't think it'll be the same as that. I don't think it'll be the same. 100 million pesetas by it. Maybe. Now, how's that just changed to a red light? There's a green light. That make any difference? That's a bit better, huh? Balances it out a bit. That just looks weird though, doesn't it? I have to put this one in. Change the light on this one. Right, let me just do a little update on the transfer window. Hi, Baz. Says Big Fran. Just glad you got Tatty. Is that your wife on the way home? Yeah, no, she's on the phone. I don't even care who she's on. She's on the phone. I don't know who she's on the phone to. Few pints and what's the deadline? What do you think any business will be done? It's hard. I don't think so. I think we're actually done. Um, Thing is, when we look at it, right, nobody was shouting about a new left back last season. Right? and they're only been talking about a new left back because the media has been talking about it. So, were we after a new left back, or was it just the media? We've brought in a few players this week. The manager went, teammates, state embarrassment, someone fired. Nope. Wouldn't mind. I keep got what? Michael, that's a bad joke. That's a bad joke. That's a bad joke. That's not even funny. Greg's, Greg's in Burnaby. Greg's in Burnaby. Right, we've been going on. I'm going to hit the 2 hour mark and then we're going to stop for a bit and we might come back on. Um, I really need a refreshment. I want to try and sort this lighting situation out. The club should tell us it's done. The fact that we should have paid the 7 million for the Brondby striker. If we wanted a striker, we should have paid the money. Sorry, bad, but lots of those crying for a left back. Taylor has been well off it. He has this season. He has this season, but it wasn't last season. Nobody was shouting out for a left back last season. Just more in personal opinion. 11:59 when I usually sign. If I don't get more in. Oh, big fan. Sorry. Right, that green light's now down my head. In. That looks like I've been. I look like Brendan Rodgers in this one. I've got a Brendan Rodgers tan now. Last season, we Greg. Last season, Baz finished. Taylor, money in the bank for me. Let's hope Hart has a season of his life in the Champions League. Let's hope Hart does. Raging we never went for the Croatian keeper. Yes, I think that's one that we missed out on. We were looking for a keeper. Hey, there we go, some disco lights. Yep. Last minute, Alfredo. Has Morelos got a club yet? Has Morelos got a club yet? DJ Singer just came back in. The Hawks took over, Baz. The Hawks took over. Oh, that's a cracking one. That's not. Uh, Mikey Johnson going to stick. Nah, Mikey Johnson's going to stick about. He was back in training today. You seen him on the training pitch. Seen him on the training pitch today. I, the way that the manager sees it with Mikey Johnson, I think, is that he's got a lot to prove this season, and it's all up to Mikey Johnson. Oh, that's a bit epic, isn't it? Right, we need DJ Singy in the house. You got a coupon. What was that? Right, when are the Champions League fixtures announced tomorrow morning? Tomorrow morning. Got a coupon like a Ukrainian. Then he talked to me about Ukrainians. Where I stay, Ukrainians actually, after the Spanish, are the biggest population here. Them and the Russians. It's amazing because Ukrainians and Russians are both the biggest population of expats in this town, and they get on fine. Strangely enough, is that a stroke light? No, it's Morelos has been sitting at a 24-hour garage. Get your sangria, get your San Miguel sangrias for peasants. No, nobody drinks sangria here. They drink vino tinto verano. Google it. Nobody drinks sangria. Ireland, run over now. Yeah, right. If I put it on that and then dim it down a bit, that's a bit better. But it looks like a Brendan Rodgers tan. Right. I was thinking that I was sure. It says Lorna. Mikey Johnson's a good chance this season. Yeah, he said he's got a chance this season, but Vino Collapso. When does the window close? Closes in 2 hours. 2 hours. What's the defence for Sunday? Defence for Sunday is Gustav and Phillips, Alistair Johnson and Greg Taylor. Alistair Johnson and Greg Taylor. Midnight. Hart in the shop window of this Champions League. Hart's going to America. Hart's going to America after he finishes with Celtic. That's why it was imperative that Celtic got in another keeper so that we could at least get him in. Wouldn't be surprised if Celtic went for a half decent keeper at Christmas. No more signing, guys. No, I don't think so either. I don't think there's going to be any more signings tonight. I think we're done and dusted in the transfer market. Homegrown quota is irrelevant. The concept. No, I don't think there's going to be any more signings tonight. Only left back interested in is didn't lose any money on any big players. That's a good thing. We didn't lose. Well, we lost Jota. I'd take Casper any day now. If that deal was going to happen, it doesn't have to happen tonight. There's not going to be a keeper tonight. If it's going to happen, it doesn't have to happen tonight. If we're going to go for Casper Schmeichel, would that be a good move? I don't think it's a long-term replacement. So I don't. That's why I don't think it's a goer. I don't think he is a long-term replacement for Joe Hart. So um, nah, get the thumbs up. Says a couple of lads. Still 2 hours to go. Wouldn't surprise me. Well, a minute or two. Remember, midnight was Cameron and Carter Vickers. This is true. Right, tell you what, we're going to call it quits for half an hour. We've been on for 2 hours, and then we're going to come back in half an hour's time. So set your timers. It is. It's 11 o'clock here. It's 10 o'clock back home with you. It's 10 o'clock still to part time. Join me again at 10:30. Right, so we're going to have a half hour break so I can get a drink, sort some stuff out, have some more food, and then we'll have a half hour show to see if there's going to be any more signings. Okay, right. Name the hunt of a video. Better not be pissed when you come back. Not a chance. Not look. In 2 hours, I've had one pint. In 2 hours, 2 hours, I've had one pint. Right, I'll see you all back in half an hour, and then we'll have another talk about the window and what's happening. Have a great evening, Celtic fans all around the world.